It is very common for me to do live videos with little to no planning at all. And this morning is no different. Happy New Year. So, like most of you, I stayed up probably a little too late last night and maybe got up a bit too early. But the coffee's in the system and the food's waiting on the table. So I thought I'd make a quick message before the day continues. So we do this every year, right? January 1st rolls around. We say we're not going to make some New Year's resolutions, but we make the New Year resolutions anyway, and then we fail to keep them. But this year, don't make the New Year's resolution that you normally would. You and I both know that this is a time unlike anything that we've ever experienced. And I think it's helped us to undo a lot of our belief structure and our filters, which are our belief structure, on what is true and what isn't. I hear people say often, speak your truth. Just speak your truth. Well, what the hell does it even mean? I mean, what is your truth, other than your perception, your opinion, your view and take on life? A little bit of it is your experience, and the vast majority of it is possibly just the opinions of others. Things you've read online, maybe things you've read even in a book. What are those books? And so I would recommend, and this is certainly what I'm doing for myself, is every single belief structure, every single filter you have in place, and most of those we're not even aware we have, I would ask daily I would ask a question like this: if I were to have my belief structures fall away, even if it's for just a moment, so I can entertain a new thought, a new understanding of my life and the world around me, what would that feel like? And then see what you notice. And not just in that moment, but what you notice an hour later, hours later, days later. But you're asking the same question or a similar question every single day, and you're still being very receptive for the answers. Because let's face it, we don't know much about who we are or our human history at all. And what we've been told is a very carefully curated story. And those that hold the ability to write records that are supposedly the education for the masses, well, they tell the story. And I don't believe the story has been told accurately at all. And many of us suspect that, and have suspected it for a while. And the last 3 years have been providing us plenty of evidence to show that we do not know what our truth is. And all of the dogma, whether it came from religious structures, from the educational structures, public or private, or the media, whether you're like me, where we grew up with 3 main network stations, or you have an infinite amount of information in as many languages as you can possibly entertain coming at you, depending on the country you're living in. And you can hear all kinds of curated stories on what is true and what isn't true. So, this means your ability to discern in 2023, to discern what is accurate and what isn't, is really going to be strictly up to you. What does that mean? How do you navigate what is truth? What is your understanding of truth? And I would suggest that that comes very much from inside. And without the ability to ask questions in this new year of your inside environment, your history, entertaining that maybe this life isn't the only one your soul has experienced, entertaining that there is no such thing as linear time as the only way to experience, but that there is a soul experience that is collecting information and experience all the time from as many different ports or portals as you can possibly fathom. And by opening your ability and willingness to lay aside the dogma, the filters that have been put in place, you are then able to entertain new ideas, new concepts, new understanding of what this life can be and what it can be about. By awakening in you the true potential of you, of humanity, you have a very different experience in 2023 than you've ever had before. So are you going to be willing to at least temporarily put to the side what you believe to be true and the confines of what you're able to entertain due to fear of retribution from those around you, from a deity? Are we able to open the aperture, the viewfinder of our ability to take in information and experience it in a new way, as opposed to just getting on that life treadmill every single day and just taking that one step in front of the other to do what we've done every year before? Are we willing, because it's simply a case of willingness, to open up the receptivity to potentially having a different life? We are being guided like livestock to respond, to react, to stimulus in certain ways to provide very few potential outcomes. And only through our imagination is it possible to entertain other outcomes than the ones that are being told to us as being the only options. I think I remember reading or listening to some podcaster when I was in the Orthodox Church. That's Orthodox Christianity, not Orthodox Judaism or anything else that has the word Orthodox in it, that the imagination was a very dangerous place and a very dangerous thing to entertain. It would only get you into trouble. Well, I'll argue that is exactly the opposite of what is going to give you the ability to entertain a new existence. So this internal environment that you are navigating is your terrain. It is your playground. And if you don't explore it, then you have no way of ever entertaining something externally being a part of your new experience. You've heard the saying, as above, as below, as below, as above. Well, as I was mentioning in my broadcast yesterday, the major Taoist pursuit is to take this earthly experience, this visceral yin experience, and experience it through a hun or heavenly experience. It is to create a less mundane experience of this life and make it more expansive, yang, and full of potential. And I would say by embracing both your internal environment, your playground as being a place of infinite opportunities to experience this life in different ways, and then letting that then be broadcast out of you like a beacon, like a ping that goes out, bounces off of your surrounding and comes back to you again, a feedback loop. You then can have a new internal environment experience which then influences those around you. So the heavens are within. They are broadcast out of your physical experience, and they are then influencing those around you, and then they all join you and you join them in a new world, a new creation, a new experience for humanity. Keith, this sounds like you're trying to be like God. Isn't that God's job to do the creation and recreation? I believe it is absolutely a cooperative effort among all of us. The physical and the spiritual, the Po and the Hun. And so, by realizing that maybe what makes us who we are, our chromosomes, that these are not just a storehouse of information, but an antenna that is broadcasting signals out into the fabric of reality, and that it is receiving information back like a satellite dish. We are transmitters and receivers. Why do you think there's been such an effort, and is continuing to be such an effort, to alter the arrangement of who we are, to interfere with our ability to transmit and receive information cleanly? So in 2023, broaden your horizons through a greater imaginative effort to broadcast more imaginative scenarios of beauty, of harmony, of creative endeavor, and allow that information that you're pinging out to the world to come back to you and all those around you, and cooperatively, through coherence, through alignment with those who are also on that same mission, we overwhelm the chaotic signals being broadcast by those who don't want this type of life that we're talking about. And it overwhelms them easily because alignment and coherence provide a very strong output, and overwhelms the chaotic noise easily. And then we end up having a very new experience and build a very different world. So what's the first step? Internal exploration. With all of the parameters you have in place, slowly or not so slowly being moved away to have a greater and greater imaginative experience. The shackles of your beliefs and your filters are what are holding you and holding me back. And I don't think God, whatever God is, and who can possibly fathom the fullness and totality of God, I don't think God is going to hate you or punish you for entertaining what a beautiful and more harmonious world could look like, and the potential of who we can be. In 2023, shake off the fear. Do not let those that would oppress you with more fear even have a chance to do it. And let's align in our imaginative effort to create, by that outward bound signal from us, a more beautiful and harmonious human existence, exploring the fullness of who we can become, which is so much greater than what we're experiencing now. Happy New Year, everyone, and have a good day.